Hello, hello.
Cheers.
Hello.
Cheers.
What are we, George? Got Arizona?
Yeah, going back to my Queens roots with a little Arizona, this time with a little bit of alcohol in it.
I got a little bit of vodka. I got a little bit of vodka and tonic. What about you, Tom?
Little JMO with ginger ale. That's
Holy shit, you're drinking alcohol this week?
Yes, sir.
Last week it was chocolate milk. What happened?
Chocolate milk is pretty great, though. George, you love a good yoo-hoo in a can.
Yoo-hoo
in a can? Tom, did you experience yoo-hoo in a can?
I did. There's more my brother than me, but I don't want to give away my age. But you guys know. You know how it is, right, George?
You're not very young, brother, man. You might be the youngest guy in the room, but...
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Tom. He's George. Nick. Episode... Hi. We're up to 7 now.
Lucky number 7. That means it's going to be a total clusterfuck. Something's going to go wrong. We know it.
And we got a very lucky guest on tonight. We'll be bringing up in a few moments. Very good content creator. I've spoken to him once before. I will bring him on in just a minute. Before we do that, folks, please make sure, if you haven't already, to check out 1925, the New York Giants podcast on. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube, 1925 Podcast Big Blue. We also have a new Facebook page up as well. Make sure to go check that out. And I'll leave that scrolling across the ticker for just a minute. And without further ado, folks, we're going to bring up our guest. If you have any comments for him, questions, thoughts, make sure to drop that in the comments section below. Welcome to the show, Craig from New York Giants Rush, King Rush. That is Craig. Welcome aboard.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
I feel like I need to get a beer. Like, do I have a time to go to the beer refrigerator? Because everyone's drinking and I'm empty-handed.
You know what's really funny? Every week we told the guests that we usually drink while we do this, and they never really talk about it. They ignore it. And the one time we didn't do it, you question if you could absolutely have a beer.
All right. Well, you need to give me 15 seconds.
You got it.
I'm gonna get a beer.
Absolutely.
That's so fucking funny, dude. I knew that was gonna happen. The 1 week we don't mention the alcohol thing, it's like a guy that would have a beer with us.
Yeah,
what the fuck's your problem?
Poor Perry there was at work. Leonard might have had something. He might have been sneaking.
Leonard Marshall might have had something. Craig's actually spoken to Leonard before.
Nice.
Well,
Adriana was doing
Dry
February.
Dry February, yeah.
Sing, I don't think indulges.
Yeah, Sing.
Pudgy was sick. I'm not laughing at you, Pudgy, because you were sick. It's just no one's been drinking. This is the first time we're gonna have a guest drink with us. So we should probably.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, we're gonna do a cheers then. What do you got there? Oh, that's cool.
Oh, love that. Nice.
This is Crimson Skull. It's a red style, and it's made by Bonesaw.
Nice.
That's fucking sweet.
So I'm opening this up because George said I can.
Yes, sir. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's go. Never pass an opportunity for a beer.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself for those who might not know who you are.
Crib Notes it would be 2010. I was the featured New York Giants columnist for Bleacher Report. And I'm dating myself, but I think I was there 2010, 2011. And right after the Giants won the Super Bowl, they were bought by Turner Sports. And Turner said, if we're paying anybody, get rid of them. So they got rid of the whole staff. And it's not like we were getting really paid anyway. You know, you're getting a couple $100 here and there. So in 2011, I was like this. I'll do it myself. So I created nygiantsrush.com. And I've had, actually, if you guys are familiar with Dan Benton, so Dan and I were one of, I guess there was probably 5 of us as featured columnists together for Bleacher Report. And Dan and I, of course, Dan, continued to write and went on a couple of different featured columnists. He worked SNY. He's been all over. when I made GiantsRush.com, I just was writing articles, and people were writing articles for me, and I was kind of like a feeder system. They'd work for me, then they'd go work for ESPN or SNY, and just, we wrote articles. And then in 2016, 17, I was asked to do a podcast. We were called the Giants Guys, but we didn't really have any resources. Like, there were no tools, there were no production. Like, you recorded it on like Blog Talk Radio, and then you downloaded it, you uploaded it. Anyway, so the podcast, was the Giants Guys for a couple years, rotating different guys in and out, always talking Giants. I played college football. I've had season tickets since 1968. I've only missed, after this year kind of blew my record, but I've only missed 9 games since 1986.
Wow.
I live about 2 hours from the stadium. I'm in South Jersey. I'm closer to Philadelphia or the beach. So, continued to write the articles. Then it became a podcast. Brought a ton of good people on that have moved on to bigger and better things, which is cool. We've always kind of had that, local vibe, not a ton of sponsors. We don't big time anybody. We love everybody the same way. We're pretty, straightforward like you guys. Like, hey, let's just talk Giants football. We got rid of the Giants Guys. It became Giants Rush full time. Podcast tools got better, so, we're out there. If you want to check out Giants Rush, we're live every Monday at 7:30. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on the YouTube channel. Everything is Giants Rush. What we're known for, I guess, is we're interviewing players. Our tagline is, we tell you what the players tell us. We've interviewed, 75 current and former players. So, I guess from the current team, there's 6 or 7 guys, but I know you guys like the old school stuff. So, because I've watched, what episode you said? 7?
7, yeah.
Number 7,
yeah.
All right. So I watched a couple of them, and I've watched this, and I've watched your Instagram, George. I looked at it, and you were talking about some of the old time players. You can't get enough of them. I think the word was. We got some cool interviews with some guys from like Kiwanuka to Banks to Kavika Mitchell to David Wilson. Like, we do it all. So that's kind of us in a nutshell. Like, I got a rotating bunch of guys that I bring in every week. And this past year, we had Ryan Dunleavy as our co-host. And I'm sure, you guys are familiar with Dunleavy. He should probably be back, as soon as we get into the draft and stuff. Ryan's a great asset. So we have some fun with it.
So going back a little further, what made you become a Giants fan in the way back? Obviously, you said you had season tickets from '68, so I'm sure you had. So
when I was a kid, my dad would only take me to one game a year because I couldn't sit still as a little kid, But since I got into high school and through college, it was the only way for me to keep tight with my dad, right? So every Sunday was Giants game. Didn't miss. We got great seats. We're on the 22-yard line, 22 rows up in the lower bowl. So we just went. We had fun. We went one of those charter buses that brings us into the stadium. We started off with a little grill. The grill got bigger. The beer got big, better, as we've gotten older. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's more like tradition and family, The last 10 years have been rough because of the losing. And last year was the first time it broke me. I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going. Mm-hmm. It's the first. And I'm telling you, George, there's nothing worse than driving home either Monday or Thursday night at 2:00 in the morning on the Jersey Turnpike going home after another loss.
Me and Nick just did that a couple months ago.
Yeah, we did that week 3 this year. And George played a fucking phenomenal move on me. He was the driver driving down with sunglasses on. I don't know if you see those things on his face. He needs them all the time. We're halfway there. He's like, oh, fuck. I forgot my glasses. I'm going to need you to drive later. So 3-4 in the morning after that phenomenal Kansas City game, I'm trying to stay awake. And every once in a while, George thought it'd be a great idea to make sure I'm alive still by waving his hand in front of my face to make sure I don't crash the car.
Because you were hitting the divider.
You were asleep.
I was, but it woke me up. It awoken me from my slumber.
Oh, get fucked.
Yeah, it's difficult when it's like, I don't know where you guys are at. I know, George, you said something about your Queens background. Like, that late at night, it's rough. You know, they're losing every week. The game gets done at midnight. I got 2 hours. Let me tell you, I am a menace on the road at 2 a.m. Don't get in my way. I'm doing 90. I'm trying to get home, and I'm angry. I'm already angry. Now I'm even more angry. So, but the Giants have always been fun. They've won a lot of games. I've seen all the Super Bowls, you know, kind of a, you know, it's just been rough the last 12 years. And it's like, now it's just starting to weigh on me, right? Got kids, got other things going on. I try to go. Like I said, last year I volunteered not to go to 2 games. And that was like, it was rough for me. I was like, I felt like a traitor, you know? Then on Monday, we fire up the podcast and I'm like, let's get this off the table now. I did not go to the game. So
what games did you skip out on?
So I missed the was it Ravens? And wait, was it Ravens? Hang on, let me think for a second. It was the second to last game of the year, and it was game. Hang on, now I gotta pull it up and look up what game I missed. Because it was it was one of it. It snowed. What was the snow game?
Oh yeah. There was like nobody at the stands.
Yeah.
Green Bay?
No.
I'm looking it up now. So the snow game was the second one because I woke up, there was a half a foot of snow on the ground, and I'm like, I ain't driving in it, not doing it, not going. And then I can't remember earlier in the season I missed one, but I'm looking it up. But I missed 2.
It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah, again, I will say I am fortunate. My dad had the tickets. We had 4 seats. When the seat license came, I gave 2 up. Because it was $40,000, so I gave up 2. I gave up 2 seats.
Wow.
Yeah, the PSLs are ridiculous, but
and they don't hold their value. Like they're worth.
Oh really?
They're worth yeah. It's a big scam. And not just with the Giants, with every team. Like if I wanted to sell my PSL right now, it's not worth what I bought it for.
Right, but if the team got generationally better for 5 or 6 years, it would probably bump it back up, I would assume, right?
But we've been bad for 12, George. 12.
No, I'm with you. My whole basement is dedicated to this fucking team. I hear you. Trust me.
Yeah.
My wife might think I'm a lunatic.
Yeah. So like a long story short, yes, I gave 2 up. I had seats 7, 8, 9, and 10, right in the middle of the row, 22-yard line, 22 rows up. Like I said, I take me and a buddy, or I'll take my daughter, I'll take my son. My wife wants no part of it. She's like, I don't want to be around you when you're that miserable. So, so yeah, Giants fan from birth. You know, I don't know. I mean, George Martin lived in the next town over. I used to landscape his front, his yard. Bill Sims was in Franklin Lakes. We used to landscape their yard. You know, you'd see these guys all over growing up. You know what I mean? Whether a grocery store, like I said, we used to landscape that whole, Passaic County borderline of Bergen County. I used to landscape there as high school. So it was cool and a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Now going back to the podcast, where did the name come from?
Giants Rush?
Giants Rush, yeah.
Simple. 4 Super Bowls, all won on defense. It really was. It was like we were the Giants guys for the podcast, and there was nygiantsrush.com. We got rid of the Giants guys because what are we known for? Pass rush. 4 Super Bowls, all built on pass rush. It's your LT and Banks. It's your Leonard Marshall. It's your OCU Manura, your Michael Strahan, your Jesse Armstead. There's 4 teams. We love Eli, right? We love Sims. We love 4 Super Bowls are known for the pass rush. So it's always been about the rush. Now it's just basically turned into like
won all 4 games, 100%.
Yeah. So it's just when I started it, again, it was like Giants guys, but it wasn't my idea. And I was like, okay, cool. But I'm like, all right, what are we known for? Like, we're known for pass rush. Like, 4 Super Bowls. Like, no one could say, hey, we're known for wide receivers and big time touchdowns, right? Or we're known for a quarter. And I love Eli, but we're not known for quarterbacks that throw for 400 yards, 500 yards per game, like a Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers kind of Pat Mahomes thing, right? So name comes from just tradition and history.
That's awesome.
Now, were any other in the mix or
for names?
Yeah, at any point.
No. It's always the website was always, like I said, they won the Super Bowl 2011. We all got let go by Turner, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this without them. I don't need these cats. Forget it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, what are we known for? Oh, we're known for pass rush, Giants rush. You know, and then when I got offered the podcast opportunity it was for USA Today, and they were like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it was the Giants guys, and everybody just got confused. So as the podcast tools got better, I just dropped the Giants guys, and there's a lot of guys out there that were on my original podcast that are out doing their own thing now. So, and everyone always said, like, we like Rush better, stick with Rush.
No, definitely.
Agreed.
So when did you know, like, or when did you feel like, hey, this is more than just like a bullshit hobby? When was the aha moment where, holy shit, this is going somewhere?
You kind of, well, I don't know, like twofold. One was I was actually interviewing like real dudes, right? Like people were like, hey, all right, you're not the mainstream media. We'll interview you and interview with you. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, I had a really good time. I'll do it. I'll come back anytime. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like I'm in marketing. I'm in sales. I'm in tech. I was in media, right? So I had that background for radio, doing commercials and doing all that thing for CBS. And guys just had fun. Like guys were like, wow, you ask great questions. Hey, wait, did you play football? You know what you're talking about. So, and I tried to bring on guys that either loved football, knew football, played football, just so it was football guys talking to football guys. So I think I knew, like, I think it was, I don't know, it was probably, I guess, we interviewed a bunch. First it was all media guys, and then I'm trying to think who was the very first player it might have been Banks. It might actually been Carl Banks, like 8 years ago, was like, he's like, man, I had such a good Banks was really good to us. And he connected me with Leonard Marshall. And I'll never forget. So this will answer your question. Leonard Marshall's on with us for like an hour and a half. And his wife comes in and goes, as we're on, she goes, Leonard, who are you talking to? She's like, I'm talking to the Giants rush guys. She's like, Leonard, you don't talk to anybody this long. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm having a blast. Don't worry, we're good. So she laughs. She leaves the room. And she's like, I don't usually talk this long to anybody. He's like, I'm cordial and nice to everybody. He's like, but you guys are great to talk to. And I was like, all right, I think I figured out the secret sauce a little bit. And then we just started rolling into, I mean, geez, I said, we've interviewed probably 65, 70 players or former players, but I think it was the Banks Leonard Marshall thing. And then like when Leonard Marshall, like he was like, can you help me do my official shirt for the Ring of Honor? And like, so people were like, we were doing cool stuff. Right. And, you know, when we interviewed like Daniel Bellinger, we got a good kick out of the fact that his dad, the Bellingers, if you ever look at their history, the Bellingers go all the way back to World War II. His grandfather flew a plane off a deck of a destroyer, you know, like in World War II. And so there's a ton of history with the Bellingers as war heroes. Okay. Like Bellinger's father, Bellinger's grandfather, and they have a New York tie. Right. We're interviewing Daniel Bellinger, and in the background is his dad. This is like a week after he got drafted. His dad's getting interviewed by Ryan Dunleavy from the Post about his history. And he's like, do you know Ryan Dunleavy? Because my dad just asked me who I'm interviewing with, and they're talking to each other in the background. So we've just, I don't know, we've had some fun with it, lucked out a little bit. And I think people just always said, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Am I allowed to swear on your show?
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, we're not assholes, right? I don't make it like, how did you miss these tackles? What happened on that interception that you dropped? Why didn't you have 80 yards receiving instead of 50? Like, we don't press them that way. We'll get into it a little bit, but I'm not looking to make them be the players or the coaches or the media guys hate us. It's not my thing.
Now, have you ever accidentally crossed that line and gotten a little bit of backlash from it? Not on purpose necessarily, but just
no. Trying to think, like, not really, because I do like if I'm doing an interview, I try to script it out ahead of time. So I got like topics. I'll send out topics in case like somebody, like Ryan Dunleavy's great to us. He'll be like, "Hey man, I can't give you these sources," and I'm like, "Yeah, cool, of course." I get it, right? But no, players have always been really super cool, and if they get comfortable, they tell you really good stories. I mean, honestly, I've said it numerous times. I wish I could find someone to go back, look at all the interviews we did, and cut them up into segments, because we've got. Honestly, I don't even to bore you or your show's fans, but I've got stories, honestly, that we get off our podcast that don't even seem real. Like they're incredibly crazy. Like I'm like,
we've had to.
Yeah. Like you start talking to them and then they tell you stuff and you're like, what did you just tell me? You're like, what? Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, just trying to think of some of the, like, I remember Kavika Mitchell telling me that he couldn't get dinner. Oh no, it was Kiwanuka said he would bring Eli to dinner and nobody would let Eli in because he couldn't, when he was a rookie, he couldn't get in to have dinner. And then he would call like Kiwanuka or something and be like, "Hey, can you help me get in this restaurant?" And then, a year later, they'd be like, "Hey, Matthias, can you bring Eli to dinner?" And he'd be like, "Oh, last year you wouldn't even let me bring him in the door for free." You know what I mean? Like just all sorts of stuff. Like, I remember I don't know if you guys are Cordell Flott fans, but I mean, Leonard Marshall told me side by side that he was better than hold on, who was the other side when Flott played? Is it not Stingley? Who was? It'll come to me in a second.
Before
the other side, LSU. Flott played one side, and the other corner went in the first round.
It was Stingley, I'm pretty sure.
It was Stingley. Okay, all right, because he said that Flott was a better player, and he just has a little bit slower of a projection.
Mm-hmm.
But that in the long run, Flott was going to be a better player than him. And I was like, "Whoa, really?" He's like, "I'm telling you, I'm on the sidelines. I watched the game." He's like, "Flott's a really good player. He just didn't have the size."
Yeah.
I don't know. So no, I don't think I've crossed the line with any of those cats. I don't want them to hate me. Maybe I'm soft. I'd rather have a good relationship with these guys than just be the guy like, I asked that one tough question and the guy blocked me and I'm like, badge of honor. I'm not that dude.
Yeah, you got 3 extra views. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, we had a little fun with the Steve Tisch news of the past couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. We kind of spun that on our guests randomly and got their natural, at 11. Yeah. But we haven't really annoyed anyone either yet, I hope.
You got plenty of time, George. You got plenty of time.
Oh, he does a great job annoying the fuck out of us.
Oh, yeah. It's like the night before the show. We're all a mess. And then we come together the night of and everything's fine. Right, George?
Yeah. Well, you two are a mess. I'm perfectly fine.
I love it.
And this is what we deal with.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I've had some characters on my show as hosts before. And then after the show, you're like, and they're like, "Are you always like this?" I'm like, "So it's all entertainment, baby."
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to ask the hard question.
Craig, so you've interviewed a lot of people, several players on your podcast. Which player, if you had to pick one or maybe two, that kind of like stood out the most to you? I know you talked about Bellinger, Banks, guys like that.
I mean, so trying to think. I thought we've gotten really friendly with Micah McFadden because he's always really honest with us. He comes on. He's been on, 5 or 6 times. He comes on like twice a year.
Wow.
So I always appreciate his honesty about like how hard it is to be a pro, what you got to put into it. Banks has always been cool to us on giving us some inside scoop on the things like when he did that photo shoot with the starter jackets, he did it with Okereke and McFadden, and they were duplicating what he did with Pepper Johnson and
the bad
and
fellas.
LT. Yeah. Yes. He kind of told us about that like 2 years in advance. So that was cool. I'm trying to think of one that like really, really stood out. Like David Wilson was cool because like he just got hurt prematurely and then he was trying out for the Olympics. He was really chill, like maybe more chill than I you know what I mean?
What an athlete that kid was too. I mean, it's a shame the way it ended for him, but he could have done great things. I mean, that St. Louis game, or not? Sorry, not New Orleans game.
Yep. You know what? I'll go as far as say, you know who was really cool was, and I know he's not a household name, but Bachman, the wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Remember him?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he went
preseason.
He went to, and he was on the Giants up and down a couple times. He played a bunch of teams. He was super cool just because he was talking about the grind, what it is to stay on a team, the kind of shape you have to stay in, the opportunity, the small window of opportunity that you get. And if you don't make the most of like 3 plays in a preseason game, you're out, right? And he told us how he got to Wake Forest. Like he said that he had all these, scholarships and he had all these opportunities, and he went to Duke, and he was like, it was so boring. And so look, if you guys been on college campuses, you see dudes throwing Frisbees around, football in the yard, guys are playing intramurals, there's people hanging out over here at the tavern, drinking beer on just atmosphere, right? He said he went to Duke, and he goes, it was so boring. He goes, I told my dad I can never go to college here. He's like, these people have they're just, headphones on, laptops, and that was it. And then he's like, and they were driving home, and his dad's like, let's stop at Wake Forest. And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, let's just stop at Wake Forest. He's like, yeah, I guess. And they pull in, and he was like, wow, this is beautiful. Wow, this is really cool. These are my people. And then he went and set a bunch of records at Wake Forest, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they all tell you cool stuff. I don't have one that sticks out more than others because I'm always fascinated by all of them. Like who thought they were going to get drafted? Oh, you know what? How about this? Dominic Hickson told us that he had never been to New Jersey before, even though he was an Ohio guy. And he said 2 really funny things. He said, one, that Chase Blackburn was everything. And by the way, Blackburn's another dude we've interviewed 5 or 6 times. We've gotten pretty friendly with him. We actually used to sponsor his golf outing. So twofold with Chase. Dominic Hickson said that Chase Blackburn was like the hero in Ohio. And everybody knew that he was going to go to Ohio State. But Akron offered Chase Blackburn first. And to grab an offer, he said yes. And then later on got offered by Ohio State, and his father, Mr. Blackburn, made Chase honor it.
Sure.
And he went to Akron instead of Ohio State. He said years later, he was playing with Chase Blackburn. He's like, dude, you're like my hero growing up. He's like, you're like the best player in the entire state. And now you're on the same team as me. And then he also actually he was probably one of the best. He said that remember the game he blew his knee catching a touchdown pass?
05?
Yeah.
I think it was against the Rams.
Oh, Hickson we're talking about. Yeah, I remember the play, watching the play.
Yeah, he kind of bobbled the ball in the end zone, made a great catch, blew his knee.
Yep.
He said he asked Mr. Mara if he could go home to rehab because his mom was battling cancer and he wanted to be close to her instead of rehabbing at the facility. And Mr. Mara was like, of course, Dominic, whatever you need, we're here for you. Very sentimental story that he told us. So he went home and rehabbed the knee, in Ohio to be close to his mom. We thought that was super cool. And then he also said that he had never been in New Jersey before, and he thought the Giants played in New York. And when he got off the plane and he said, take me to New York, I'm playing for the Giants. And the cab driver said, I apologize. And I don't mean to break your bubble, but the Giants don't play in New York. They play in New Jersey. And he was like, what? He's like, you're kidding, right? He's like, no. He's like, they play in New Jersey. So he was like, so they're driving to the stadium. You see all the big buildings passing, on the Jersey Turnpike. And then you pull in a metal edge and you're like, damn, thought I was going to New York. I'm in New Jersey. What happened here? So Dominic Hickson might be one of the best. And then last story from him is after all the Super Bowls and remember that year Plaxico got hurt, and I think he might have had 1,000 yards filling in for Plaxico, and he had a really nice career. He opened up a company. I'm not getting paid to say this, but he owns a company down in Florida called Super Bowl Fishing, and he's a captain, and he takes out people on deep sea fishing tours, on a boat that's called Super Bowl Fishing.
That's wild.
Yeah. So Hickson was really, really cool.
That's awesome. Who is one player you'd love to interview, that past, present, future?
Easy question. Jeremy Shockey.
Jeremy
I've been trying for 10 years.
Badass.
He'd probably be more interesting than people think.
Yeah, think about it. He's out of the limelight. Nobody knows what he's been doing. He came back to the stadium for the first time since he left in 2023 when he came back. First time he'd been back since he went to New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying for 10 years to get Shockey every way I possibly could. People I know, DMing him, Instagram, like, that's an easy one. It'd be Shockey.
Yeah, no, he was a beast. I saw a video today of Will Compton. He's on the field with him. They're doing some sort of practice, and he's looking at him from a distance, and he's like, oh, my God, that's Jeremy Shockey. And he's scared to go up and talk to him at first.
People don't realize he was 6'5.5". People are like, how big was Shockey? He's like enormous. He was Gronk before Gronk, So yeah, he was a beast. I mean, everybody knows. I'm assuming you guys know the story about his first day fighting Brandon Short over the Penn State song.
The food fight, right?
Yeah.
No, the fist fight. Bro, Shockey gets drafted, gets in a car, drives all night from Florida in a limo. Shows up very first day in the middle of the day. The team comes back from practice. They get off the field. They go and eat lunch. He's in there eating lunch. He's been there for a half hour, and he's by himself, minding his own business, eating. And Brandon Short, inside linebacker from Penn State, who hates Miami, shows up and says, sing the Penn State song. And he says, I'm not singing the Penn State fight song. I'm just eating my lunch, minding my own business. Short takes away his food and says, stand up, rookie, and sing the Penn State fight song. He's like, we'll fight right here. He's like, I'm not singing the Penn State song. They started fist fighting right there in the cafeteria. The guys had to pull him apart. Very first day, he'd been there for 1 hour. Shockey was an animal.
Yeah.
Absolute animal.
I think that Tom,
preseason play where Shockey lays that block. It was a preseason. It was his first preseason look.
I think it was either the Texans or the Colts because his helmet came flying off.
He caught the pass and he just started leveling motherfuckers, and his helmet flew off. And I was like, I was a little kid. Holy shit!
Yep.
Like,
it's either the Texans or the Colts.
Varro.
One of those two. Yeah, Shockey is an animal.
Now, Craig, it's been rough past 12 plus years. Do you see the Giants coming out of these dark times, and when do you see that happening?
So that's a tough question.
Yeah.
So, because we've been here before, but this is what we. Yeah. I guess the easiest way to answer that question would be is. So I got a guy inside the building that takes care of my tickets, and he was telling me that the Giants were looking for a CEO type. And when they brought in Dable, if you remember in year one, they go to the playoffs, he was the CEO type. He had everybody in place. And then with the lack of offense, Daniel Jones getting hurt, the multi-quarterbacks he had to bring in, he stepped back into a offensive coordinator role. And the Giants lost the CEO type of coach. They want a guy to manage the building, the players, the media, and manage it like a CEO. And Dave started off that way. Year one, everybody loved him. He was coach of the year. And then with the Daniel Jones stuff, the Barkley stuff, everything just went this way, and he reverted back to what he knows, offensive coordinator. So now you're relying on Wink, and him and Wink are getting in fights, and then Kafka, and just everything kind of spiraled out. Nothing was ever the same. So this is the first time that the Giants have a legitimate CEO at the head of the team. He's going to make decisions that are different. They're not going to be emotional decisions. And he's going to, 18 years, right? 18 years in one place, made the Ravens what they are. 12 of 18 years in the playoffs and so on and so on. So to answer your question is, I think that this past year, the roster was very simple. You lost 5 games in 10 minutes or less. They had the hardest schedule in the NFL, which is bogus to begin with. It's total crap. But the strength of schedule, number 1, and you lose 5 games with 10 minutes or less. Roster's not as bad. I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying it's not as bad as a 3-win team, 4-win team. It's just not that bad. So the CEO, I mean, I think the Giants have a legit chance of winning 8 games this year. Shooting for a wild card. Things definitely have to fall in place. Guys have to be healthy. Mm-hmm. But I think Tom, I think they're going to be good, better, much better this year. If Harbaugh is the coach, out of those 5 games that you lost, I think they win 3 out of those 5 games. If Harbaugh is your head coach, so I think this era of football should be much better. I mean, look, geez, you got Kevin Abrams fired. Kevin Abrams is gone.
Yeah,
that's been screwing up our cap and contracts for 20 years. This guy had a job for 72 hours and got the VP fired.
Yeah.
No, so I think there's a new sheriff in town.
So while we're on that subject, with Joe Shane's contract being up upon the end of the season, what do you think about his seemingly diminished role this year, being that Harbaugh, it seems one of his demands was he has to circumvent the GM position and go right to the boss with everything?
Yeah. It's a hard question to answer. I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, I don't know what to make of it, because like, I don't hate Joe Shane and I don't love Joe Shane. I'm just kind of like this is good, but this is really bad. And then I'm like, this isn't terrible, but that's really terrible. Like, I think a lot of people want to be love him or hate him. I'm just kind of like neutral. Like, I can pick a handful of things out that I like. I can pick a lot of things I don't like. George, I don't really know. Like, until I see it, right? I just don't know. Like, it feels to me that he's under this. He's got to fall in line with what Harbaugh wants. His roster management has been terrible. No punt returner, no kicker. You know what I mean? No. I mean, here's my thing. All right, how about this? I don't want to go on a tangent about Shane because my blood will get boiling. But think of it this way: Micah McFadden goes down, he doesn't get an inside linebacker. Adebo goes down, he doesn't get a cornerback. Neighbors goes down, he doesn't get a wide receiver. His sole effing job is to be the general manager and roster. You're telling me you can't find? There were 8 cornerbacks bagging groceries that he could have brought in for nothing just to see if they can play. He didn't do it. You know what he did? Corey Black, who the Giants cut and was on the Jets practice squad. The answer was Corey Black. We drafted him. He sucked. We got rid of him. The Jets thought he sucked. Put him on a practice squad. Shane brings him back.
He brought back Hodgins, too.
I'm sorry, Craig. We got breaking news.
Oh, just
Bobby Okereke. Right? Bobby Okereke has been released, freeing up $9 million in cap space.
Knew it was
as of 9 minutes ago. Gone.
Don't never cut me off again, Tom. we knew Okereke was cut fucking 5 weeks ago. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen because, I mean, that's the thing. I really like Okereke, right? And I've been having this debate actually all day long because of the McFadden tweet that I put out there. But the biggest thing for me on Okereke is go back and watch the tape. One thing sticks out every single play. And I'll leave you and I'll let you guys jump in. Tell me when the last time Bobby Okereke tackled somebody to the ground. He's never on the ground. He's never around the ball on the ground. He pushes guys out of bounds. He'll try to throw guys down or run you out of bounds. The guy, and I'm a huge fan. He was great in 2023. Got hurt in 2024. He's never been the same. He's never on the ground. Your linebackers should be thumping dudes, taking them down to the ground. He's never on the ground. I knew it was over last year. Like, linebackers should be just wrecking dudes. And nowadays, they're big and they're powerful and strong. You can't try to throw down Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Like you can't try to wrap up Pacheco by just, grabbing him and throwing him down. Okereke's never on the ground. He's always standing up. That gave it away for me. Yeah. Something happened in his game. I know he hurt his back, right? Again, I'm a fan. I wanted him to stay, but his game changed. And then all of a sudden, you have a stand-up linebacker.
Yeah.
And the scheme,
older player.
The scheme changed, too.
Last year of his deal, too.
Yep. Yeah, so the $9 million.
He looked better under better under Wink Martindale.
Yep. Cheers to that one. Yes.
Gonna miss him. Had to be done, right? You got to purge this roster a little bit.
Yep.
You have to.
I mean,
100%.
I think this is a complete regime change. And with that being said, how do you feel like this new group is going to develop our quarterback, Jackson Dart, hopefully the quarterback of the future?
I mean, look, I won't go on and on about Dart, but, my son who's 17, I think maybe, Tom, you might have heard me say this before.
Mm-hmm.
So my son was a Jackson Dart fan when he transferred from USC to Ole Miss. And he was like, Dad, you got to watch this guy play. He's crazy fun to watch. So we've been Dart fans for 4 years, right? I literally had to go on to this crazy foreign site and I bought him a powder blue 2 3 years ago for Christmas. So we've always been on the Dart, bandwagon. But I'm also here. I'm also going to tell you straight up, like the guy threw for 12,000, yards at Ole Miss, 84 touchdowns in the SEC, right? The guy can play, right? He's tough. He is more than a one read guy. He doesn't get a lot of credit for it. Okay. Kiffin never cleaned up his game. So on the other side, he had bad footwork. He was lazy in the pocket. He stood around when he handed the ball off. He never peeled off. No deception. Doesn't know how to get under center. I know his flaws. He's definitely, as long as he stays healthy, he can give you everything that you're looking for. So, I'm a fan from that perspective. To answer your question about the regime is look what they did with Lamar. I mean, Lamar came in. The NFL wanted to move the cat to wide receiver. And they made him into and Harbaugh and his tutelage with Monken or whoever it is, doesn't even matter. Still under the head coach and made him a 2-time MVP. So I think sky's the limit for Dart. I think they will do fine from a development. They brought in, Stafford's brother, to help out as a quarterback and wide receiver coach, right? So he's got that quarterback familiarity and that wide receiver background from a coaching perspective. I think that's going to help him. And I think Dart's going to be fine with Harbaugh, and it seems like they're hitting it off, right? I think he must be a pretty easy to get along with guy. I know he's probably a little heartbroken over it. Daves is probably always going to be his guy, but I think Harbaugh is going to let him shine because they're going to get him under center. They're going to run RPO. They're going to be a little bit more creative. And I think, again, as the CEO, I think you have a lot more clarity than when you're the head coach, trying also being the offensive coordinator because Kafka's in the way and there's some kind of weird relationship there where Kafka can't get fired. I don't know. I never can understand what Kafka brought to the table, but I think the clarity of head coach, CEO, getting his quarterback, seeing what he needs, like there's nothing in the way. There's no fuzziness to it. I think there's a very clarity on what the head coach needs the quarterback to do and how to get him there. He's not going to be stuck and marred by, I need to also be the offensive coordinator, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we're going to see any setbacks from Dart, given he's got a new offensive coordinator coming his way? I mean, it's going to be a new system he's got to learn, and
it won't be
a second year player, right?
Yeah,
going to have some growing pains. But the cat's pretty smart, and he's exactly what this team needs. They need, he's like Sims. He's tough. He's stubborn, right? He wants to win. Again, I'm dating myself, but I mean, like, we haven't had a quarterback like this, since Sims. Eli didn't need that. He had the pedigree. He had, great footwork. great for, just saw the field real well. Like, I just think we need an injection of excitement, and Dart brings that. And he said, look, I've been running my whole life. I'm not going to change my game now. Now, does he have to be smarter? Yep. Got to slide a little bit more, 100%. But, I think you're going to find some things that may take a little bit longer, right? But I don't think like Kiffin's Ole Miss system was like rocket science. I think he's got a lot of opportunity to grow. Wasn't in a very complex system at Ole Miss. So I think he's got the capacity to learn more. Like, he's not maxed out where, oh man, I went from one complex system to another. I think he's going to be fine. But yeah, I would assume anybody would have a year or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys watching film.
And he's got some weapons.
Oh, that's the biggest pet peeve that I have right now.
Who are his weapons? Yeah.
He ain't got any.
Malik Neighbors, Cam Scadaboo. I mean, Tracy's more serviceable in the backfield. I'm just guys that are just going to make the defense pay attention to him.
They just got to be healthy. Right now, you don't know when Neighbors is going to be ready. So you're going in the season with Slayton and Hyatt. It's a joke. It should be, in my humble opinion, it should be on the forefront. We're never going to know about it, but on the forefront should be as we can't depend on Slayton. We definitely don't even think Hyatt deserves a roster spot. You got to go out there and technically, this is just a humble approach. You have to draft wide receiver 2 that acts as wide receiver 1 until Neighbors is ready, because we all know he's not going to be ready in 10 months.
Right.
And you can't rely on Slayton and Theo. Like, you just need another game-breaking wide receiver that commands respect.
And keep Neighbors out a little bit when he's healthy.
When Neighbors is healthy, he's as dynamic as they come. That's
what I'm saying. A good wide receiver 2 will keep Neighbors honest to be on his shit.
100%. Yeah, I love Neighbors. I mean, I feel terrible that he got hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's ready after 9 months after ACL and MCL surgery. Like, who's ready in 9 months and who's 100%? Not many dudes can do that unless you're Adrian Peterson.
Or he should go smoke mushrooms with Aaron Rodgers, maybe. That dude comes back from everything. That motherfucker comes back from everything. Better than he was. I don't get it.
Yep. I'm cool in the gang, dude. Put him in the cave, whatever it is. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of weapons and stuff, the Giants are rebuilding this roster. They have a lot of work to do. But, Craig, if you had to bet your own money, are the Giants a playoff team in 2 years from now?
Yes. Easy. If you bring in John Harbaugh, who made the playoffs 12 of 18 years with a Super Bowl, and in 2 years you can't make the playoffs with a team that lost 5 games in the last 10 minutes, I think there's something else wrong. They should be able to be a wild card team in 2 years. They might even, again, you lost 5 games in under 10 minutes. Like, just think about it. If they win 3 of those 5 games, they're a 7-8 win team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I said that all year. I was with my son. We were watching the Broncos game, and they were up by whatever they were up by. Going into the fourth quarter, he's like, "This game's over." I'm like, "Dude, don't you ever say that." And then by the end of the game, I'm like, "See, I told you."
Poor guy. How old's your son?
He's 12.
Oh, he's scarred now. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's funny though. So he grew up watching the Giants lose, and my wife is a diehard Bills fan, and the Bills have been better than normal. I still don't think they're a Super Bowl team. Sorry, Al. But with that being said, they've been better than the Giants, and I'm so happy but so confused as to why he came over to the dark side. And he's a Giants fan with me. We went to the Cowboys game week 17 this year. We had a blast. Nice. And yeah, he's in it. It's great.
That's cool. Yeah, I do, Tom. I think they're a playoff team. I wishful thinking that 8 wins gets them an opportunity for a wild card this year. That's wishful thinking. Last year's strength of schedule just I never had them over 6 wins. I mean, the strength of schedule was again, I don't even know how the NFL comes up with this shit. How do you take the worst team of
I don't
football
either.
and give them the hardest schedule? I'm like, yeah.
And then you gave the Patriots the easiest one.
Yeah. Just so many things in the NFL are like, bro, sports gambling's ruined the game. The refs are on the take in every other sport, and we're just saying, oh, not our refs, right? I mean, just there's so many things that you're like, dude, this is not football anymore. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not looking to go back, you know, into like, get off my lawn. But I'm just like, you know, strength of schedule for the worst team in football. I'm like, I don't get it. So, and they hung in there with limited resources. So
They
yeah,
did.
I think they're a playoff team. I keep telling myself in 2028 they're going to the Super Bowl. That's what I keep telling myself.
You heard it here first. 2028. That's all we're gonna cut.
Flip it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're gonna kill me on that one. You're like,
Flip it.
Santucci says.
Craig, there you go.
So speaking of that Super Bowl run in 2028, which I hope to fuck is going to be true, what are some of the what's on your free agency wish list to help get us there?
Right. Free agency. Yeah. So
Wish list.
Yep. So the New York Giants have the most expensive defense, as I kind of mentioned you guys before we popped on. $177 million on the defensive side. I don't, as you know, in today's day and age, you're like, whatever. But honestly, if you have the most expensive defense in the NFL going into 2026, how do you spend more money on the defense? You really kind of can't, right? Denard Wilson, which I'm kind of excited about, as an ex NFL safety and a guy that's got some good background coaching. I'm expecting him to coach up Holland and coach up Newbin and coach up Phillips, right? And create a better defense with what he has. Not saying they're not going to improve the defense. The free agency money should be spent on the offense. And you know, like, just because how much more money can you spend on the defense and leaving the offense? Like, your big ticket item somewhere has to be at the wide receiver spot. And the issue that we probably will talk about, I don't want to jump ahead, is, you know, so my wish list is wide receiver 2. Whether they draft him, but for free agency, they need it. They need even a wide receiver 3. To be honest with you, they need to trade Slayton and cut Hyatt. So free agency money needs to be spent on a wide receiver. I'd love for them to bring in George. I'd love to see them bring in a free agent guard to compete. Linderbaum is I know a big topic at the center spot.
$25 million a year is what he's requesting, right?
Yeah. So here let me ask you guys this. This is just super like straightforward. There's no right answer, but the New York Giants have had the worst offensive line in football, or almost the worst offensive line in football, for 10 years, right? 10 years. Like 10 straight years. This year, they go rank from 29th or 30th to 10. I'm not saying to not fix it, but like 1-0. Like, they went from 30 to 10. So how bad is that offensive line? It can't be that bad. So do you, and I'll put this back to you guys. Do you really want to rip that apart when in the press conference with John Harbaugh, he quotes his dad calling him up saying, wow, does that offensive line get off the ball and get after it? Like, do we really want to dismantle that? Mr. Harbaugh Sr. said, this offensive line really, really fires off the ball. Like, so do we think we know better? I don't know. What do you guys think? You want to rip apart? I'm not saying don't improve it. Like I said, free agent, I think, George, was your original question, is there's got to be a free agent wide receiver. I'd love to have a free agent guard, right? Because I can't depend on Van Routen to be healthy. He's getting older, right?
I think part of the problem is Andrew Thomas kind of handcuffs you because he's an amazing player, but then you also have to balance his injury problem. So the team with Andrew Thomas is different than the team without. When you remove him from the equation, now we're rotating guys through. Guys are trying new positions, and some weeks it works, some weeks it doesn't. if you lock in AT, he has a healthy year. Now you have a little autonomy to make a few bumps in other positions if you want to try an upgrade with no offense, Tom, John Michael Schmitz, or if you want to make something with Van Roten, you can. I think the big difference last year, I'm a big Carm Brasillo fan. I think he did a great job with the team.
He did.
I was kind of surprised Harbaugh it wasn't really Harbaugh. It was him wanting to do something different. But I think they have a decent offensive line. Do we fuck that up by putting in a big piece at center? I'm not sure. But you also know there's the comfortability between Harbaugh and that player, and Harbaugh doesn't call offensive or defensive plays. He's a game manager. So I don't know. It's a lot of money though, and I like fielding offensive lines through the draft over years, so you can pick up a spot here, pick up a guy here, do this. We've done that, but we've also picked bad players. Evan Neal, Eric Flowers, list goes on and on. So every year we bring in a veteran or two, and this unit can be worked on, though. I think this is a good base for any coach to start with. I really do.
George, another option is, and this probably some people are going to get upset about this, is his former tight end likely is out there. From the Ravens, do the Giants need a playmaking tight end? There's 3 tight ends on this team now, and they haven't really thrown the ball to the tight end a lot or enough. I'm a big fan of Daniel Bellinger, but they don't ever give him a chance. Every year they try to replace him. And if you remember, the guy had a great rookie year, and then he got his orbital bone broken in the Jacksonville game.
Yep.
And then ever since that moment, and the dude came back that year, which is crazy, to getting his eye socket broken. They've been trying to replace him with everyone they possibly can. He's a nice tight end. He catches everything you throw at him. He's pretty good for yak, by the way. I like Theo too, but Theo does drop a lot of balls. I think he led tight ends. Led the league for tight ends and drops. Do you need a playmaking tight end? Not a bad place to spend some money because Isaiah Likely is basically like a big wide receiver. Mm-hmm. So that could be an option. Free agents. I think they may need, if Scadaboo comes back healthy, which the update on Scadaboo I saw in the Crazed Sooner. Update on Scadaboo is he's completely on schedule to be 100% healthy. Like he's moving around, playing. Same thing with McFadden. He's out playing golf. I know he's got a Liz Frank, but he's out there. Like no one's had any setbacks that I know of. So. I don't know. I guess in order, free agents, wide receiver 3. If Illuminor doesn't get re-signed, you're going to need a right tackle. And then potentially, depending on what you do with Bellinger, you're going to need tight end too. At least in my, and then also John Runyon Jr., he's going to need to take a pay cut because he's getting paid a lot of money. I just don't think they should get rid of him. He's solid enough to do the job, but he made it expensive.
Yeah, he's not bad. He just, like you said, he's not playing at his price tag, and we need space. So
correct. So he might need to take a pay cut. The biggest thing is like, who the hell is Jackson Dart throwing the ball to? So you need to really consider what they're going to do at the wide receiver spot. What's his name from Green Bay is out there.
Dobbs.
Yeah,
that might not be a bad option.
He's big. He's a big dude. And he's not a yak guy. He's a possession guy. I think he's like 260. He's just huge, right? 250, 250, something like that. But it could be good. Solid 2, potential 3. I don't know. What do you guys think?
You're also going to be missing a pretty decent slot receiver in Wan'Dale Robinson potentially.
I don't know how you can. I think maybe I'm in the minority with the Wan'Dale thing. I was hard on him in year 1 because he was a 5 foot, 8 guy who got drafted in the second round, who I thought would be there in the third round. But after like 2-3 years, I had to give him some slack because, he turned out to be a nice player. He's tough. He's great in and out of the locker room. Everybody likes him. He's a good cat. It's just tough to pay a guy $18 million a year over 4, 71 over 4, because ask me, ask yourselves, if Neighbors is on a team, what's he giving you? 600 yards. 600 yards. Yes, he stepped up. I'm all about it. He stepped up. Like I said, really classy dude. But 18 million because Neighbors went down. He stepped up, but I don't know if I could pay him 18 million for that, because when he's a number 2 or a number 3, he's a 5'8" slot receiver. I just don't. And how about this? He's not better than Sterling Shepard. He's not better than Victor Cruz. I looked it up, guys. Sterling Shepard. Yeah, good.
No, I was just going to say, I think the only difference is he's staying on the field right now. He's been reliable.
Yes, 100%.
He's going to get you those chunk yards, and like you said, he stepped up when he had to.
Yep.
But I agree with you. I don't think he's worth 18, 20 million, and we can't afford it.
Perfect. Yeah, you can't afford to pay a slot receiver.
I'm with you on that.
What's he your? Is your wide receiver 3, and you're going to pay him 18 million? Like, just can't do it.
Right. What about the kid from Ohio
Spend
State?
it on Illuminor.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Illuminor. I think we keep building that line, but what about the kid from Ohio State at number 5?
Done. Get done right now.
He's the big body we need at a good price. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Styles. You talking about the linebacker?
No. The wide receiver.
You're talking about Tate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Cornell Tate.
Tate. 6'3".
Yeah.
I would do it. I like Styles, the linebacker, a little bit more.
I like him too.
But because I think if you put Styles next to McFadden, you got McFadden wears the dot, can call the defense. He now becomes back to what he's great at, which is Mike McFadden's an A-gap type of player. Styles is your linebacker that can cover, right? Because he's 6'5", 244, and he runs a 4. What do you run? A 4.5? 4.45?
His vertical's insane. Like he's a freak.
Yeah. Or at 5, you go wide receiver, so you go into the season knowing you have a number 1 wide receiver, because they don't right now. Like, if you really think about it, there's no way John Harbaugh, as good as he is, as smart as he is, lets this team go into the season with Slayton, Hyatt, and I guess Gunner as 3. I mean, I just, it can't happen.
Joe Shane loves Gunner.
Well, Shane's interesting because I would think he would want to protect the guys he drafted. So I would think that 2022 class, I would think he would want to make himself look good by bringing back as many as possible. And that's Belton, McFadden, Robinson, Bellinger. Who else was in that class? I'm missing one. And Flock. I would think he would try to want to bring as many back of the guys he drafted to prove his work that those guys were good players.
Yeah.
Who's one player, we're talking about guys we'd like to keep, whatever. Who's one player you'd like to see go? Definitely. Hyatt?
Go as I don't like them go?
Yeah, like get gone.
Pack their bags, Craig.
Yeah, it's Hyatt. I'll tell you guys a quick story that still gets under my skin. Giants are playing the Commanders at home. Drew Lock's the quarterback. They're kind of like Giants are on like their own like 5-yard line or 10-yard line. Drew Lock gets hurt, okay, and he's down on the field. In the pass pattern is Neighbors and Hyatt. So in my seats, I'm in the lower bowl, so I can see this happening like right in front of me, right? There's a pretty, I don't know, it got a lot of press. There's Malik Neighbors with his helmet tipped off, standing on the sideline next to their quarterback. Why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden?
Russ.
Washington's QB.
Oh, Daniels.
Okay. So pretty famous shot. of neighbors standing on the Commander's sideline talking to Daniels, right? Because they're buds, right? So they're standing there talking to each other. It's a timeout. Drew Lock is down. The medical staff is out there tending to Drew Lock on their 5-yard line. He got ripped. Well, Hyatt was in that pass pattern. Okay, he was on a deep 9 route, go route, right? And the play is over, right? Quarterback's down. They're tending to him, and he is. I can't even paint the picture any different than he's lazily walking through the defense, right? Like he's not running off the field. He's not running back to the huddle. He's literally walking through the Washington defense. Like there's no game going on. That this isn't his team. He's just walking through like this. And you finally, when he gets closer to the huddle, coordinators waving him off the field. I was like, bro, run back to your huddle or run off the field. Why are you sauntering through the Washington defense? Could you be any more lazy? Could you, in front of 82,000 people, I'm watching this cat just be like this. No big deal. Excuse me. Don't bother. Don't mind me. Just walking through your team's defense. I'm just over that cat.
In his defense, he was probably tired from fucking up another route. I mean,
yeah, he needed some time to breathe. Yeah, every year he looks great. Look how much muscle mass he's put on. Get out of here.
Yeah, they fucking lied to us last year when he got jacked before summer camp. And I was like, oh, I'll give Jalen Hyatt another shot this year because he did look, he looked a little more impressive. He was always fast.
Yeah, he got yoked.
But that was it. He never made the field really.
Yeah. That was it, man. That was it. Yeah, so he's definitely one. And if I had a second one I could throw in as a honorable mention, it would be Graham Gano. And I like Graham Gano, but bro, you can't get hurt 3 years in a row. You just can't. And that's not out of hate. That's not out of hate. That's just out of production.
Yeah, he's 39.
We're in the same boat.
Hey, what's wrong with 39? Huh? Is that old, Tom?
No.
What are you trying to say?
It's old.
Hey, what are you saying?
Listen, I'm above the average NFL age now too. Okay.
Yeah. Right. And then the third is definitely Deonte Banks, but he's gonna be the most expensive returner we've ever had.
Go ahead,
He's a
George.
better returner than anything else. He's a great returner.
Great returner. There you go.
Biggest bust in recent history.
No,
Flowers.
Yeah, I don't.
Flowers and Deal.
No, close though. Banks had a great rookie year. I don't know if that was another Wink Martindale casualty, but
the scheme.
Well, remember, Wink pounded the table for him, and I did too. I watched him play at Maryland. He was physical. He was fun to watch. I don't know what happened. I said this on Giants Rush. I said I kind of think I knew it was over in training camp 2 years ago when they do those segments when the players are running off the field. They ask them questions as they go by.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions was, tell us something that nobody knows about you. And Deonte Banks says, I'm a closet Twinkies fan. I eat tons of Twinkies. And I was like, did that cat just say he eats Twinkies on national TV? Or the whole internet? He just said that what nobody knows is that he's eating the worst junk food ever made in the history of man. And that's what oh, bro, it's come up with say you play video games all day. I don't care, but don't say that.
Twinkies. It's players like that, like we've all said, that just can't stick around because the good players, the players who have been here for a while, that have been through the losing, that are great players like Dexter Lawrence, aren't going to want to be here anymore. And Craig, I ask you this: are the Giants wasting Dexter Lawrence's prime?
Tough question. I don't think anybody goes out the word wasting is really a hard. No one wants to lose. So I don't think it's a concentrated effort, right? You're dating a girl, but you don't have another piece. So you just hang around with that girl. You're kind of wasting her time because you don't want her anyway. It's not the case with Dexter Lawrence. Like, we want Dexter Lawrence and we want to win. We want to date and marry and have kids with Dexter Lawrence. You know what I mean?
What do you think's up with his lack of production recently, though?
So we asked Ryan Dunleavy during our show to ask the offensive line coach that exact question, because we challenged him. We said, hey, we pulled the snaps and we don't see him in that zero technique over the center, and why? And that's a problem. And Ryan stepped up and asked the coach, and the coach got all flustered and was like, no, it's not true. It's not, those aren't, who are you talking to, Ryan? What stats are those? Like, he got real defensive because a lot of time Dexter can bench press out any center in the league. But if you got him lined up in the B, almost in the B gap over the guard, you kind of nullify him. So that's the first thing, is that Lawrence wasn't lined up over the center as much as he could. 1. 2, I hate to say this, probably going to take some shit for this. He's like 40 pounds overweight. And again, the dude he's an incredible athlete. I want him to retire a Giant. He's one of my favorite all-time players. Everything about this guy I love. Smile on his face, always steps up to the media, answers the hard question. He's awesome. I do think he just looked heavy. Like, he just looked heavy. He didn't look like he had that quick punch. And he didn't, I don't think he moved bodies, because I think he was just a little slower. I just think he looked heavy. Okay.
He definitely looked more gassed last year.
Yeah. I think, he's good at,
the other team got him in the hurry up. He was really struggling with that.
Yep. I think he's good at
years. I didn't see that.
No, you're spot on. He's spot on. Gassed. I mean, because, when you're 360, you're gassed. Right. He was great at 325, 335. I just think the extra weight, whether it was by design or he's hanging out with Banks eating Twinkies, which, again, I say that sarcastically. I think, and then the third piece is he's just basically had this bad elbow, and I just don't think he can get the snap and, and that stab. I don't think he has the same push off, because the elbow is bad, so. And then fourth is something that we talk about on Rush all the time, is Shane Bowen sucked. I mean, oh my God, did that cat suck?
Yeah.
He had these guys like rotating, like I mean, if you look at those losses the Giants had, Dexter Lawrence isn't on the field for half of them, because he had this thing like, hey, I don't want to gas my guys. And he would just do this dumbass rotation. So on the most vital plays of the game, Dexter Lawrence isn't even in the game, because it's the rotation. I'm like, bro, you can't be that stupid. Like, I don't care. Take him, give him 2 minutes at the end of the first quarter. Give him 2 minutes off at the end of the second quarter. Give him 2 minutes off at the end of the third quarter. Make sure his ass is on the field when there's 2 minutes left in the game in the fourth quarter. It just doesn't make sense. You're rotating guys. They signed Chauncey Golston and didn't even play the dude. He wasn't even on the field. Alexander was your fourth round pick?
Yeah. Third round. Yeah,
third round. Bro, put him in the game and let him learn. You're a 3-win team. Put him in the game. How are they going to get any better if they don't play?
I even like Chapman, and they gave him his papers. I like mixing him in a little bit. They've been searching ever since Big Leonard, not Big Leonard Marshall, Leonard Williams. Yeah, when he went, you could tell it was a little bit of. I mean, he was a lot of money too. It always comes down to money. We never have fucking money to keep a team going.
I'm totally George. I'm in the minority with this too, and I'm going to apologize to everyone here, because this, not to say this, but it's not your fucking money. Who fucking cares? Like, I get sucked into it too, but why are we always arguing over fucking who gets paid what? Like, it's not my money. I don't care anymore. Like, just go get the best players and win games. We're always, we can't afford that. Like, there are positions. We can't pay Wan'Dale Robinson $18 million. I get it. But like, some of these things, we're just arguing over dumbass shit. Like, you know what? Guess what doesn't happen with the Philadelphia Eagles? Howie Roseman is never worried about who gets paid what when. He kicks the can down the road, restructures it, does whatever he has to do, and he goes out mid-season, early season, postseason, always gets the guy he wants. No one's ever, and listen, like I said, I'm 30 minutes from Philadelphia. I'm 50 minutes from the beach. I'm technically in Eagles country. I used to work for CBS in Philadelphia. They're never arguing over contracts and who gets paid what. Never. I don't know if Howie Roseman has, dirty pictures on Goodell. I have no idea.
No,
but I'll tell you this.
I think the Mara family was always financially conservative. Even going back to Wellington, he would get every dime he can get out of a deal on a player. And I think John also is from that lineage, obviously. I think he's the same way. If the money doesn't jive, you're not getting a deal from him.
Well, Shane too. Shane hardlines everybody. He hardlined Julian Love. He hardlined Leonard Williams. He hardlined Barkley. He hardlines all these dudes. Yeah, all these dudes. So I'm just like, I don't like arguing or debating over what we can afford. At key positions like quarterback, wide receiver, I get it. But some of these dudes, like, just give me the players, bro, and let's win games.
Yeah.
Like, just stop letting it stop you, because Howie Roseman does it every year. You're like, did he just sign AJ Brown? You're like, how did he do? Wait, did they just sign Saquon? How did they do? Wait, did they just sign? You're like, he just keeps doing it, and you're like, how is that possible? We don't have a punt returner. We don't have a kicker. We don't have an inside linebacker or a cornerback. And Howie Roseman's like, yep, that guy. Give me that guy. A couple of those guys. And you're like, yeah.
So switching gears a little bit, two-part question. Give me a player that is overrated on the current roster and a player that's underrated.
Well, underrated is what I've been bitching about all day long. First linebacker to have back-to-back 100-yard tackles in 18 years. Second is this. All people say is he misses too many tackles. Well, then why does he have more tackles for loss than Fred Taylor and Roquan Smith, two have got to be the best linebackers in football combined? Now, Micah McFadden is not an all-pro. But why did it take 18 years for a guy to have back-to-back 100 tackle seasons? Why does he have more tackles for loss than the two best linebackers in football combined? People say he's always injured. Outside of this year, 2002, 2003, 2004, he's missed 5 games as an inside linebacker, 5 games. I think Micah McFadden is a very underrated player. And I think he was good under Wink. I thought it did not look great with Bowen's system, that whole read, react kind of thing. He was a great A-gap player. When there's no defensive lineman, it's hard to scrape in this defense when you have a guard in your face. So McFadden would be my underrated player. My overrated player. Man, I want to take some shit for this one too. I think overrated is Theo Johnson. But it's not all his fault. So at Penn State, they didn't really throw him the ball. So he's never really developed as this dynamic pass catcher. Whether you want to say it's Andrews, at the Ravens or Gronk or Kittle or any of these great tight ends, they got targeted a lot in college. So at Penn State, they didn't really throw the ball to Theo, but they made him the star. They drafted him and they just plopped him in as the star because they were like, well, we're not giving Bellinger a chance. Because we tried to replace Bellinger with Waller and all these other dudes. I just think he's a little bit overrated. I don't find him as a good blocker. Drops a lot of balls. I think as a tight end in year 3, like what are we waiting for? Like it's not like a cornerback or a wide receiver, right? A quarterback. Like it's not a complex position. Not saying the NFL is not hard. I'm just saying it's not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As structurally hard as cornerback, wide receiver maybe, or quarterback. So I think I'm going to take a lot of crap for that. I know I am, but I think Theo's a little bit overrated, and McFadden's a little bit underrated.
Do you think the Giants fan base has had to lower their expectations at this point? We're just hoping for an okay player
in the draft, or you mean, or like
just in general? just the roster.
I think that football fans in general are different than they were because now everything is instant gratification. If he's not great, he sucks right away. You know, if you're not great right away, you suck. If you're not Pro Bowl, you suck. If this crappy ass, analytics company says you're crappy, that means you're crappy. You want a story? Here you go. 5 years ago, PFF told me, I said the initials. I promised myself I wouldn't say that. There's an analytical company out there that told me, and this is God's honest truth, told me that half a sack equals a full sack in their system. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So if a cat has 8 sacks, that's 16 sacks in your system. That's incredibly moronic. If two guys get there at the same time and it's a collaboration, that's a half a sack a guy. And from that moment on, I'm like, I'm sorry, Chris Collinsworth, right? Like who just this system. You made up a system that started off as a soccer system, and then you brought it to the end. And look, does it have value? Yes. But I think we've lowered our expectations on players. We don't let them develop anymore. They got to be great right out of the chute. So I think we're expecting that instant gratification out of dudes. Like I said, I like Theo, but I think in year 3 we should get more out of Theo because again, he didn't get a lot of receptions with Penn State, so he needs to develop. But I don't know, plenty of dudes that get drafted in the 3rd, 4th round that are popping. So in general, I think football fans they're more skeptical. They go right to the analytical company and says that's no eye test.
Yeah,
no eye test.
Yeah.
Everything is this piece of paper says they suck, so he must suck. Or opposite. Oh yeah, John Runyon Jr. is great. He had the highest, grade of the week, and you're like, what? You're kidding, right? Like, stop it already.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose what you take from there. That's 100%. Craig,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Love what you said about McFadden as well. But let's get to one of our last questions of the show. Actually, it's going to be a quick, fun segment called Lightning Round. We're still kind of in the works.
It's not called Lightning Round.
No, we'll change it.
we are.
I don't know
George,
what we're calling it.
Decide a name.
One
Slip
word.
and slide.
Sure. Slip and slide. That works.
One word is the segment. Yes.
Yeah, not lightning round. Lightning round.
Apologies. That's on me. So basically, what this is, we will give you a player, coach, or figure within the Giants organization. You give a one-word answer to describe them.
Damn.
So I'll ask you, then George will go, then Nick will go, and we'll keep going. So we did this last week with Audrey again. Yep.
All right.
Thanks, George. I could do math, even though it's 9:20 at night.
Well, you can't read, so I figured, I would help you out here.
Yeah. I could read Leonard Marshall's book. That's for sure. His children's book. Very good book, by the way. Speaking of which, he is the first name, Craig. Leonard Marshall.
Legend.
Frank Gifford.
Iconic.
Daniel Jones.
You can say sucks.
But I'm gonna get one word. Challenged.
Well,
Pat Shermer. Pat Shermer.
Coordinator.
Saquon Barkley.
Traitor.
Joe Morris. That's what Adriana said last week too. Joe Morris.
Stud.
Cam Scattaboo.
Savage.
Joe Jaravicious.
I have a word to the tip. I don't know. This is a hyphenated word. Trailblazer.
That's a good one. David Gettleman.
Oh, David. Archaic.
Kadarius Toney.
Loser.
The complete opposite of Kadarius Toney, Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, geez. How do you GOAT?
Odell Beckham.
Oh man. I want to say explosive, but there's got to be something else. I'll go with explosive, but I will say if there's a siding, I think he was the most explosive player the Giants had since Lawrence Taylor. Just look, a lot of great players, but I don't remember like a game changer on the New York Giants where every play he could change the game like Lawrence Taylor. So, but I'll go explosive.
Man, I don't know how we follow this one up. Evan Neal.
Hamburger flipper.
One of my favorite players, the guy was bullied his whole career by Bill Parcells, Phil Simms.
Oh man, I already said legend. I said iconic. I love Sims. I guess like franchise. What do I? I'm not gonna come up with anything like good enough. Like I want to say like staple. I want to say Sims. Like
Cornerstone.
Yeah, Cornerstone. Perfect. Thank you. I love everything that Sims represented. It was Moorhead State, come out of nowhere. John with Parcells giving LT clothes out of the back of his car. Just Sims is awesome.
Wink Martindale.
Arrogant. Love him, but too arrogant.
I got the controversial one.
What is it? Yeah, you cut out.
Steve Tisch.
Wow. Dang,
you can use two words if you want.
Yeah, I'm like I want to say like ignorant, but that's not gonna sum it up right.
I love that Adriana answered that question in 0.1 seconds. She was like, jail.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there's so many things wrong with that whole thing. But as long as it's not kids, then like, as long as it's not kids, like just you can be creep. How about that? Creep.
Perfect. All right. This is a better one. Carl Banks.
Underrated.
License plate guy.
Oh, Joe. Character.
The well-dressed Amani Toomer.
Class.
Everyone's favorite peanut butter and jelly eating motherfucker, Joe Shane.
Confused.
You didn't see that in the HBO thing? He eats Uncrustables like a madman.
Oh, yeah.
I just call him confused because I don't think he knows who he is. He's just like, I'm this guy. No, I'm that guy. No, I'm this guy. No, what? You know what? Today I'm this guy. I'm like, oh, man.
Still trying to find himself.
Yeah. He's always reminds me of that guy. Like, you know what? I'm like a chameleon. I'm somebody new every day. I'm like, bro, we don't need that.
Jackson Dart.
Savior.
All right, last few here. Malik Neighbors.
Game changer. That's kind of a hyphenated, right?
That works.
That works. We'll let that one slide.
You let me know,
Michael
thanks, man.
Strahan. Michael Strahan.
Oh man. Benchmark.
Mark Bavaro.
Man, I got such a great Bavaro story too. Assassin.
Oof.
Maybe not. No, he's not. But he's so quiet.
Cerebral.
Ninja. No, he's not. He's too big for a ninja. Oh.
Rambo.
Yeah, I mean like stoic.
Yeah, Stoic was what I was thinking.
Victor Cruz.
Oh yeah. Overachiever.
John Mara.
Geez, like one word. I was gonna say family man, but that's 2 words. Something. I mean, he loves the Giants. I mean, he just loves football. Like, I don't know, football guy, football icon. I might need help on that one.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I just always think of him as like he is a legend in the space. You know, he loves his team, whether he makes a ton of mistakes or not. It's all because he loves the team. He loves the brand.
For me, he's nostalgic.
Oh, thank you. Can I steal that? Nostalgic. Yeah, like he just
You can have that one.
he
You
just
owe me
loves.
$5.
He just no problem. I'll Venmo you. He just loves like as he makes mistakes, but
Yeah.
it's not it's not like Jerry Jones where he's just like this big ego and he's making decisions because they're his decisions. Like John Mara wants to win just as much as we all do.
Mm-hmm.
And the final one would be Mr. John Harbaugh.
Teacher. I think
Nice.
John Harbaugh is going to teach the New York Giants how to win again.
Love it.
So you mentioned Mark Bavaro and having a story, and we had to keep going with that game. Feel free to share. I love Mark Bavaro, so I'm interested if you don't mind.
So Banks told me that I don't know if we were on the air or not. Banks told me that during practice, the offensive coordinator used to come up to him and say, "Hey, I need you to like swear at Bavaro, talk about his mom. I need you to like stick your finger in his eye socket. I need you to hit him late. I need you to be like, talk shit to him." And during practice, everybody knew like what was gonna happen, and Banks would just start slowly, like, that whole Bart Simpson, the old quit it, ow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Banks is like needling Bavaro all practice long, needle him, and then temper start to go up. And at least he said we'd fight. We would fight at least 3 times in practice, and they had to pull them apart, right? So a couple weeks would go by, and the defensive coordinator would go, "Your turn," but he doesn't know it's coming, and I didn't tell anybody. And then Bavaro would be like, "Yeah, you wish you were good as Andre Tippett is," and he'd be like, "Where's this coming from?" Because they were, because Mark doesn't talk.
Right.
So he said he like this one specific time, because Banks every week would go get Bavaro going. They'd fight 2-3 times in practice. By the end of the week, Bavaro had enough. Weeks go by, and he's like, "All right, look, Banks had a little bit of an off game last week. We need some big game. So he was like, go talk to him about Andre Tippett. Go in there. He was a linebacker for the Patriots." Bavaro didn't say much during practice. So all of a sudden, Bavaro was like, "Yeah, Banks, you wish you were Andre Tippett." And Banks flew across the line, grabbed him. They start pulling him apart. And so later on, they tell him it was a joke and this and that. And he said that, they became some of the 2 best friends that he had on the team were Banks and Bavaro, because every practice for 8 years, those guys went at it every practice. So in the front row of the stadium, I don't remember if he said it was the 45-yard line or the 42-yard line. There are two guys that have come to the game for 30, 40 years. One of them wears a Bavaro jersey, and one of them wears a Banks jersey. And they sit there, watching the game, and Carl can see it, from the TV booth all the time, and he said he would text, Bavaro during the game, and he's like, our boys are still here, and he'd take a picture of them and send it to Mark just to remind them that that the fans still love Bavaro and Banks, and they wouldn't be Bavaro and Banks without each other. They made each other better, and you don't hear that a lot anymore.
No.
They're great because they were born with it in God and their parents, and no one ever says the guy on the other side made me better. Nobody says that shit no more, right? So it was just a cool story to hear all the crap he said to Bavaro. And Bavaro would just take it and then start it off with like a shove, and then he'd hit Bavaro in the back, and he'd be like, by the end of the day, they're rolling around in the grass and the dirt. Guys pulling each other off every week. Every week, he said, for an entire season. And then they became like best friends. So it was cool story.
That's awesome.
Love it.
That was great.
Yeah, man.
So we have one final question for you. We also want to thank you. We went a little bit over here. Usually we shoot for an hour. Thanks a lot for sticking around.
Yeah,
I'm a big diner guy.
Thank you.
I love diners. Where I currently live in upstate New York, the diners are kind of trash, to be honest with you. So what is a go-to diner in New Jersey for either before a game, after a game?
So there's a great, there's a couple of them. But so if you're a North Jersey guy on the west side off of Route 23, which kind of runs through past Pequannock into Wayne, it's called the Pompton Queen, which is fantastic. And then there's one on 46 going towards the stadium is called, what's it called? Something Sun, Rising Sun. Oh my God, I can't remember what it's called now. It's right on 46. There's a car dealership on that side. You're going up the hill. There's a Lexus dealer right before you get to West Patterson. Drawing a blank. But Pompton Queen was my go-to if you're on that Wayne, Butler, Pompton Lakes, Bloomingdale side, and then the other one would be more West Patterson, Little Falls, Totowa side, going into Clifton, which brings you to the stadium. But great question, George. I can't remember the name of it. Those were my always the two. The one in West Patterson, and the one in I guess that would be considered Pompton Lakes because it's called Pompton Queen. So Jersey's all about diners, man. We have great diners.
No, I know. I love diners in New Jersey.
Pompton Queen. I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah, Pompton Queen, which is again, I consider it Pompton Lakes, Route 23, right before you go to let's say Butler and Wanacue.
Right.
God, I can't remember the other one. I know when I hang up with you guys, I'm going to remember it. But there's one on 46 going towards the stadium. There's a Lexus dealer on the left. Bob Chizzuli Toyota is on the right. There's a Burger King and a Taco Bell, I think, there. Sometimes I would miss the bus and I'd have to park at the Taco Bell and then jump the railing so the bus could pick me up on the way.
Runway?
No, it's not. I mean, unless they cheat. No, it was something Star or Sun. Maybe it was Sun. Damn it. Hate you, George.
Everyone else does. Just get on that bandwagon.
Very true.
Yeah, I'm just having fun. I will remember it and I will shoot it to you, but there is a diner right there. There's a big shopping center. It's right there. Oh.
There's Sunrise as well. Is that it?
That could be it. Is it on 46, Route 46? I'm going to have to look it up.
61 Westfield Avenue, Roselle Park?
Nope. It's
not the
gotta
one.
it's gotta be considered West Patterson or Totowa. Was that a two-part question?
We got to talk about the names of the Jersey towns while we're at it too. Holy shit!
Most of them are Indian names. Pequannock was Pequannock. Wanacue was Wanaki. Most of them are after Lenni Lenape Indian tribes.
Mawa.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mawa.
Fun fact Tuesday.
How do you say it? Manucci?
Munaki.
Munaki.
Yep. Mawa, Wanaku, Paquonic. Yeah, they're all Indians.
All right. Last guess here. Rise and shine. No.
Oh,
All right.
can't be.
That's no. All right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
All right, Craig. Thank you so much. This has been
Yeah,
great.
man.
Yeah,
Wait,
man,
I got a
thank
question for you guys.
Yes.
Shoot.
Sure.
What are you guys thinking about this coming year? Like, do you have a common thread on like, yes, they'll be good, no, they won't be good? Like, what are you? I mean, you guys talk Giants all day. What do you guys think? I respect your opinion. I mean, like,
Tom,
is there a
go
theme
first.
among? Is there a theme amongst all three of you, or do you guys differ in your opinion on the team?
So
We're
I'm
way
thinking
different.
7-8 wins is likely this year if things go right. Obviously with Harbaugh as the new sheriff in town, I think for me, Craig, I want to wait till free agency and the draft are done before making that official prediction. But if I had to forecast it right now, this team was in so many games last year. And like you mentioned earlier in the show multiple times, this team has the talent to be really, really good. What they need is the right coaching staff. They need those pillars in place to take that next step. And they weren't able to do that last year and the year before because of what was in place. And I think the team took a step back once they hired Shane Bowen, because even in 2023, they were still winning games at the end of the season. They had a lot working against them that season. So
That's a great point.
I think 7-8 wins.
That's a great point. Because like, how many games do you lose where the defense is just never in the right spot? Like, you're like, man, just make one defensive stop and we win. Yeah. Like, just bat one ball down and we win. Just knock the ball down one time. Nope. How about you guys?
I think they're going to be similar range of wins and losses. I kind of liken this to when Tom Coughlin came in. I think there's going to be some early pushback for some of these changes. I mean, Dable was a guy who I think was a little loose with the players, kind of a player favorite. I think Harbaugh is going to be a little more stern about stuff. He has a bigger reputation on the line. So there's going to be a little bit of that. Also, a losing culture is very hard to turn around in essentially 8 months. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time. Once you give Harbaugh a few drafts, a few free agency cycles, plus the only benefit, the NFC East sucks. Like, it really does. It's a weird division. Like, it's cutthroat. It doesn't matter what the records are. The games are tough. So the Eagles are the best team in the division, but they're obviously declining a little bit. The Redskins are the oldest team in the league. I'm not really worried about them. And the Giants have these young, promising pieces with a new coach. So it's kind of a toss-up. But I think it'll be probably year 2 where you start to see if it's in motion or not.
How about you, Nick?
Yeah, no, I agree with kind of what George said. We've got a young team that's exciting. We got Scatterboo, we got Dart, hopefully a healthy Malik, and whoever else we pick up in free agency in the draft. So there's hope for the first time in a while. I think it's going to be a few years before we get there, 1 or 2. I think this year, 8 to 9 wins. But if we get rid of that pesky fourth quarter, I think we got a pretty solid team here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's going to be some guys like Dexter and Brian Burns, and hopefully Carter's on board, that they want the discipline and they want to turn it around, because maybe it was too loosey-goosey, right? I mean, like, I think guys are, as you mentioned, Tom, about Coughlin, I think, or maybe it was George, sorry. I can't remember who said it, but you said Tom Coughlin. Like, I think some of these guys are maybe embracing a little bit of structure, So we may see these guys pop off because they finally got what they want, right? They're like, okay, we got guys all in a row ready to embrace some exciting, changes. Where I think if everybody's kind of like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think most of the cornerstone pieces, Tom, that you mentioned that are there, I think they want the discipline. They want to get better, and you need discipline to get better. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, what do you call it? In Pittsburgh never won because he was too much of a player's coach. Like, he just never got over the hump because everybody was too like, we're buddies. We're all friends here. And don't get me wrong, he's an amazing coach. Yeah. But he never got over the hump, right? I mean, that was basically Cowher's team you won a Super Bowl with.
Right.
Yeah, you
Well said.
You're right.
So, but you guys are great, man. I
Wow.
wish you guys the best. If I could help you guys in any way, let me know. Love the collab. I got a whole bunch of dudes. If you want to have them on, I got 5 guys on the Rush, squad. You guys can pop on with us anytime you want.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Craig. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, no doubt. And thank you everybody out there for listening to all my BS for the last 2 hours.
Make sure to go check out New York Giants Rush, NYG Rush, right, Craig? Anything else you want to plug? Yep. All good?
No, that's it. You if you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Always helps us out, right? We're live on Mondays at 7:30. And that's about it, man. Twitter, I'm there for the argument if you want it.
Hell yeah.
Let's have some fun with it, though. I mean, let's be civil about it and have some fun. We don't need to knock each other down. We can hate Cowboys and Eagles fans for that stuff.
All right. Craig Santucci, King Rush. Have a good night.
All right, man. See you guys
later.
That was great. We went long.
That was great. I had a lot of fun. I know Nick has to go to the
I got to take a piss.
Yeah,
no, he was great though.
You got to get one of them little piss jugs, especially when you can't see the bottom of your body. So it's a clutch move. I've been doing it all 7 weeks.
Fun fact: you can't see. You can't see George's body. He weighs 900 pounds.
Tom, any comment? Tom, stop talking.
Yes.
You cut me off twice, and I'm pissed off.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to. The comments. 30 seconds.
Give me my spot. What are you in a rush? You got a train to catch?
No, Nick has to go to the bathroom.
I can care less about Nick's problem right now. Any comments from the class?
Story of my life.
Lindsay became a Giants fan because of Eli Manning. Appreciate you again, Lindsay.
That's nice. Yeah.
Craze Sooner. Update on Scattaboo. We discussed that before. Thank you so much, Craze Sooner. Appreciate you. Sareski talking about Dart. Couldn't agree more.
Nope.
Slayton needs to go. Drops too many.
Sure. Update on Scattaboo. I mean, we didn't really touch on it too much, and I don't really want to go into it too much tonight. But are we really looking for a running back number 1, a Kenneth Walker, or
dude? They're talking about Jeremiah Love. Oh Jesus!
That's smoke. That is smoke with Jeremiah Love.
It's your son.
Okay.
Thank you, Danielle Godin, for the comment.
Seriously. Are we really looking at Jeremiah Love and then now K9 Kenneth Walker III? Like what the fuck are these guys doing?
They just want to consider everybody here. I mean, this is part of the process, right? You don't want teams to know what you're doing. You have to play like a game of poker.
Not when you got a pretty serviceable unit. That's gonna fuck everything up.
Will it be serviceable if Scat isn't what he was before
Scott's
the
coming
injury?
back. Dude.
No, I fully agree with that, but some people might.
Dudes like Scat are never going to change.
Yeah, 100%. My thing is this, though. If taking Scat, Dart, Neighbors, Carter, Burns out of the equation here, remove those players from it, and Andrew Thomas as well, and maybe Dexter. The rest of this roster, you should want to move on from it at some point. You should want to purge majority of this roster because it was not good. That is the bottom line because Tom Scavetta said so.
George wants to jump through that fucking screen.
For a guy who cut me off twice at pivotal moments tonight, you're being awful fresh. Because Tom's usually, for those of you at home that don't know, me and Nick are slugs. Tom is somewhat of a professional type. He speaks well. He knows big words. He went to school for more than 4 years and came home with a degree. Things like that. So when he fucks up, it really screws me up because I'm like, shit, I'm looking at Tom, cut me off twice. I'm going to get you back next week. Yeah. What do we got next week? What do we got?
Free agency preview next week. It'll just be the 3 of us. So it should be fun. No guest next week because of free agency. We're going to be talking mostly about that. And also, we want to get your thoughts in the comments section on the signings and stuff that we do, right? Mm-hmm. Anything you want to add, fellas?
So I guess we're doing one next week.
What's that, Monday night, right? I believe
we haven't
so.
decided yet if we're going to do Monday night
Or Thursday.
Thursday.
All right.
Yeah,
We will
we'll
update you
announce.
accordingly.
No, let's hash this out right now and let's just do it. Let's figure it out.
While
Another
we're
45
live,
minutes.
we'll do
Yeah,
it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, my teeth are floating. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
You know, if you hold in a piss long enough, it goes away.
All right, fellas.
That's
Check
an old
us
bar
out
trick.
on social media. Fellas, cheers. Episode 7 in the books.
Tom cannot log off quick enough tonight.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Go Giants.